Hello, and welcome to a thing which I'm going to start doing, which is reviewing some gigs. You'll know by the title of this that this is a review of Alice Cooper. In the Too Close for Comfort tour, and live at Butzbach in Germany. Now, I was lucky enough to have taken the risk on buying a ticket for this in the middle of winter when I had hardly a bean to my name, but I took the decision to get a ticket, and I didn't really know how I was going to get there, but I thought it'll all fall together. As luck would have it, I actually got a new old motorbike this week. It's 30 years old, and therefore I was able to, I got it the day before the gig on the road, and so therefore I was able to ride to the gig. And Butzbach is sort of it's a town in Hessen, and seems to have quite a vibrant culture thing going on there. They have quite a few things in the summer. I was seeing the posters as I walked around after I'd rode into town, and found next to a really nice church, actually, the one motorcycle parking place. So I zipped into that. As I was taking my helmet off, there was a guy turned up behind me, and he wanted the place, and he saw that I just grabbed it, so he was like, ooh. What can you do? I said, well, we're in your pull inside, and he did. It was okay. I said, what if you don't park if you park on the street here? He said they'll give you a ticket. So I was very lucky, Anyway, the day just sort of kept clicking together like that. So I had a few hours to kill, and spent some time just wandering around, taking in the sun and stuff, and then got down to the gig early so that I would be at the front, because I thought it's a long time since I was actually at the front for a show. So got in and was on the front rail, right in the centre, So couldn't have been a better place really to view from. And there was a support band came on. I think they were called the Black Bells, but it may not be. They were from Belgium, and they had a female singer. She looked like Ozzy Osbourne when he used to dye his hair blonde, bleach his hair. And she had such a voice, man. She could melt iron with that voice, So she's a stunning singer, yeah. I wish I knew her name and the name of the band, really. I did look briefly to see if I could find who the support act were, but couldn't find it. So whoever you are, fantastic voice. The guitarist in the band was having a little attitude, and he had more attitude than ability, I would say. I don't like to be unkind about people, but, I wouldn't have said that, but at the end of the show, he threw his microphone stand down and stuff, and I thought, in the old days, yeah, that was done, but it's not really done anymore. And quite frankly, if you're on that gig, there's plenty of other bands who would love that gig, So, who knows what was going on. But I then saw the singer of the band, the lady, come on, and she was carrying off chunks of equipment, So I thought, well, isn't that a difference in the same band? And the bass player looked like he had a broken finger or something, and he was clawing away on that bass with all of his energy. So I thought, good for him too, So maybe it was an off day. Anyway, let's get into the big thing for the night. Alice Cooper came on behind some great big curtains with Lock Me Up at the beginning. Welcome to the show. No More Mr. Nice Guy, 18, Under My Wheels, Bed of Nails, which went really well, $1 Billion Babies, Man Behind the Mask, which I'd forgotten about that track, and it really did work well, with the three guitarists who I'll get to, just sort of throwing shapes. around as that went on. That was fantastic. Be My Lover, which segued straight into Lost in America. Hey Stupid, then a drum solo by the great Glenn Sobel. Fantastic, absolutely pristine player. He was in the middle of every beat on that night. I couldn't fault anything he did, you know. As with the rest of the band, who we'll get to. Welcome to My Nightmare, Cold Ethel, Poison. What a track, you know. And they delivered it so well, you know. Nobody wanted that to finish, that track, you know. It was when it wound up with that thing at the end, everybody was sort of, no, don't, you know. It went on for as long as it should, but it was just so well done. Feed My Frankenstein followed that. And accompanying it was a giant Frankenstein. You know, fantastic. You know, then there's a solo by Nita Strauss, who went to the top of these stairs and came down playing fantastic stuff. I mean, she looks so great, and she can play so great, and she sings great too, you know. So she's really, really, I'm glad she's back with the band. She had sort of a year or 6 months out of the band doing some pop music or something with someone, but I think it was her, and now she's back anyway. But I think she's come home. It definitely is the place for her. Then we had Black Widow, Ballad of Dwight Fry, and around this point in the proceedings, he got the guillotine, and then I believe I think he said it was his daughter, his firstborn, I think he said, who picked the head up and was drinking the stage blood from this stage head. And there was a female member of the security who turned around and looked at it, and she was like, it's a vaudeville show, you know. It's supposed to shock you, you know. That's what vaudeville used to do, and that's what he's doing. It is vaudeville. Then the last few songs were elected, and encore of Schools Out. So the band, Ryan Roxy, who's been with them since 1996 on guitar, he played mostly Gibsons and seemed to change guitar every song or every other song. Chuck Garrick on bass, who's been with him since 2002. Tommy Henriksen on guitar, who had the best sound of the night on one guitar that he had, and that was a Gibson SG Junior with one pickup. And there was a point where he just launched into this solo, and it sounded so much better than with clarity, and just the tone of it was amazing. And I saw Ryan Roxy and him exchange a glance, because I'm a guitarist. I see the interactions with musicians, you know. And he was like, whoa, that guitar, keep it, you know. So he was like, yeah, I'm going to keep playing this, you know. So that was great. He's been with them since 2011, I think. Nita Strauss, of course, and she plays a different style, really, and it fits so well, you know, because she's doing all the dive bombing with the whammy bar and stuff and holding the guitar by the whammy bar, you know. So many good moves. She's been with them since 2014 with a bit of a break. Glenn Sobel, who I said on the drums, and of course Alice Cooper, 76 years old. What, you know, I was watching really closely, you know, because there's been this thing about Glenn Frey in the Hotel California and all that, you know, the Eagles. Bit of a Joe Biden there. People saying that he's miming on his tour to a backing tape of his vocal. And I wanted to make sure, because it was also Kiss, there was these rumours about Kiss, you know. So I thought, I want to make sure that Alice Cooper is actually doing the vocal, but he definitely was. There was headshots of him throughout the gig on 4 screens behind him and 2 big screens at the side. And he did so many ad libs talking to the audience and just exclaiming and stuff. And the tone never changed from when he was doing that to when he was singing. You know, it was definitely being performed, you know. Anything visually, which, I mean, it was pristine, it was fantastic, but there were no guitar amps on stage, you know, and I like a guitar amp, you know, I mean, it's, I love all that stuff, you know. So I was hoping to see what guitar amps they were using, but it seems probably they are using them in containers under the stage, or they're using fractals, or they're using Kempers or something like that. I don't, or Axe Effects, I don't know. So it sounded great, and it certainly didn't change. It didn't decrease the quality of the performance, but I just like to see amplifiers, you know. The show was 2.5 hours long, which for, you know, a 76-year-old is pretty good going. 23 songs, I think it was. And I would go again tonight to see it, you know. I mean, if you haven't ever seen Alice Cooper's show, I would recommend you get on and do it on this tour, because, you know, I don't know how long he's going to keep doing it. He certainly doesn't need the money. I think he just loves doing it, to be honest. And great performer with a good, you know, sort of sense of humor about what he does, you know. He's trying to be serious, but it's a wry sort of thing, you know. Downers on the evening, there's only really one. There was a bit of inexperience in some members of the security crew who were sort of getting in your line of sight and giving a bit of attitude, to be honest. So that was a bit of a shame, you know. If you're paying €85 for a ticket, you don't want somebody trying to stop you from seeing the show. You know, it's a bit silly, since I'm contributing to the wages of that person, you know. So let's hope that they learn out of that experience. I saw his boss come over and have a word with him, so I think it was noticed. Don't know why, but yeah, like I say, inexperience, I think. And, you know, the town put on a really good low profile sort of security in the town for the event. There was a lot of people there who were there just for that gig. Didn't see any trouble at all. And I saw about 4 police all day. Clearly they were there, but, you know, they weren't getting in people's faces, you know. Actually, I thought, given the events in Germany recently, I think that was to their credit, you know. So, Butzbach, yeah. If you ever want to go to a gig in the open air in the summer in Germany, I'd recommend that town. They really do put it on well, you know. So there you go. I'm going to keep it short there, or long. If there's any bands that you're going to see, let me know who it is you're going to see or you've seen. And give me some recommendations of some people who you might think that I would enjoy. Hopefully I'm going to make this a sort of a semi-regular thing about my motorcycle travels to go and see some gigs. And so I'd just like to say thank you for supporting the channel. Keep doing it. It means a lot to me. And so enjoy your weekend. Thanks very much for looking in. Bye.